Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
Okay, 27th of February, I have Douglas Usher with me. He'll be facing off with Jason Gifford. Now, Douglas, it's not far off. Preparation, I hope, has went absolutely spot on and everything is ticking along nicely.
Yes, preparation is going very well. That's exactly what I need for this fight. It's going to be a hard fight. It's going to be a tough fight. No fight is an easy fight. That's the way I see it. And I look forward to coming back to Chattanooga, Tennessee, and making my return in front of the fans. And it's an overwhelmingly a lot amount of people that are very excited to see me return to Chattanooga, Tennessee, and fight again.
Does that excite you as well, knowing that you've got that kind of following, that that massive people that are looking forward to you competing?
Right. Well, I competed there back in 2012 against a local hometown hero, as you should say, by the name of Jesse Grun, who is now a good friend of mine. And his fans are going to be there because he's the main event of that fight.
Yeah,
of that show.
Yeah, he's fighting Felipe.
Right, and his fans are kind of my fans. I kind of won a lot of them over, including his family members. And after that fight, and he fought last year. I went to one of his fights and just showed up, and the reception that I got from everyone and all of his fans was just amazing. I never thought that they would like me so much. But we had a great fight between me and him.
So I imagine then have you been working together at all then since then? Have you trained together? Seeing how there's been a bit of a since the fight, there's been a bit of a companionship, I imagine. But there is a respect for each other after a fight.
Right. Well, actually, there's a funny thing about that. We haven't trained together after the fight. We trained together before the fight. So that's kind of crazy. Yeah, I trained with him his fight before his first pro fight, which was against me. So yeah, it's kind of weird, man. We kind of hit each other up on Facebook and was like, well, they want us to fight, and I was like, well, how much they paying us? And I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess we got to do it. And he was like, all right, I'll see you then. And then we fought. So.
Yeah, so sometimes it is a bit awkward when you've trained together, but I've said to people before, it's almost sometimes bound to happen, especially in certain. If you're fighting on a regional area, it's sometimes going to happen, especially if you're in say whatever weight class you're in. If you're in the light heavyweight, if you're in the bantamweight, if you're in the heavyweight, or if you're in the flyweight, whatever division you're in. If you're looking for guys to train with around your weight, well, you're obviously going to train with people who are going to be local or close to, and eventually you might end up crossing paths. It's something that just happens. It even happens at the highest level.
Right, it's business. At the end of the day, it's business. You're friends before the fight. You're enemies during the fight, and then as soon as it's over with, you're back friends again. So
yes,
it's business. Man.
It is, and it's good. It's beautiful. That's what I love about the sport. And now, like I say, you said before, it's going to be a tough match against Jason. Do you look forward to having a tough match? Because I think some guys, they like to. Some guys pad their records. Let's put it out there. There is guys out there that will have like 10 fights. They've all the guys they've fought have got ridiculously high losing records. They'll even fight the same guy twice just to pad the record out. And the thing is, they never like to test themselves. You said you got a nice tough fight. Is that something you thrive on? When the fact that you get when your matchup's coming, it's not going to be a bitch. Go in and it's going to be quick. Well, I'm not saying it's not going to be. You could go in there, you could hit him once and lights out. That's ideal, but you've got the challenge there of a potential tough fight.
Right. My whole amateur career and pro career, I've never fought tomato cans or garbage cans or whatever you want to call them. My coach always made sure I had tough fights, and majority of the time the guys either have the same record or a close record to me, or they have a better record than I have. So I can honestly say, I'm 4-3. As a pro, I went 6-0 as an amateur. Lost my first 2 pro fights, and then won 4 in a row, and then lost my last one. So I've fought black belts, I fought sambo guys, I fought karate guys. Black belts in jiu-jitsu, that is, and it's competition. I like the competition. I don't thrive on fighting easy guys because this is a funny thing. The thing that scares me, if I were to try to fight a journeyman or something like that, somebody with just an awful record. Say that 1-13 guy comes in there and he just decides he wants to fight that day and just KOs you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have that on your record. You got KO'd by a guy that's 1-13. And I could never live that down. So, I like tough fights, man. I like competitive fights, and that's what the spirit of fighting is about. I don't want to disrespect the spirit of the warrior of combat or the art of fighting or anything like that by doing something like that. So Jason is a big guy. He's he likes to bang, and he's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, so he's going to be good on the ground. So you want to always fight somebody that's going to test you at every aspect of fighting, of martial arts. You understand what I'm saying?
I do, yes, absolutely.
You want to be tested. That's what the fight, to me, that's what the fight is for you to test yourself and for you to be tested. If you don't learn anything from the fight, including a loss, then you defeat the purpose of ever getting in the cage or the ring or whatever it is that you may be doing. So that's my outlook on it. That's how I feel about it. But no easy fights for me.
So with that aspect, then, with the losses, when you had the losses, did you go back and say, right, I definitely need to work on, for example, a certain aspect? Did you focus then on a particular aspect, or did you just take the whole fight and analyze it all?
Right. As soon as it's over with, as soon as you get the video of it, I go back and I rewatch everything, even the wins. I go back and I rewatch everything and look at the mistakes, look at the holes, look at what I should have done versus what I did. I also go back and look at the training camp. I look at the diet. I look at the food that I ate the day of, what I should have ate, what I didn't, what I didn't eat, what I did eat. How much rest I should have got. Things like that. All of that plays a major factor into your performance that night. You could, and I've lost a few fights because of this, because I did not eat properly the day of the fight, with nerves and everything like that. And you go in there and you throw the first punch, and all of a sudden your body just dies, and you have no energy to do anything at all. You're just surviving off of willpower.
Yeah.
Because you don't have enough energy or ate enough food for your body to actually produce that type of output. And that's cost me a few fights. And I'm still learning from that and learning how to eat properly the day of the fight. So, hopefully I got that down packed this time. I got preparations already made. I got food put up and things like that. And that is a major part of the competition that day. Also being hydrated correctly.
Yeah.
If you're dehydrated, you're in there trying to fight, you're never going to make it.
No,
you can be in the best shape, you have the best training camp in the world, and you go in there, and you don't have the essential vitamins and nutrients in your body to perform, and you can't. It's like a race car, man. You can't drive a race car on 87 octane. It's got to have at least 116 octane in it, for it to perform the way it's supposed to.
Hey, look, you are spot on there. Honestly, everything you're saying there is because I've spoke to nutritionalists. We had nutrition on, and he said the same thing, that one of the common features he found with fighters was that they'll eat clean, they'll get their diet right, so that when they get on the scales, they weigh whatever they need to weigh, and then as soon as they get off the scales, they just gorge on food, and they think, look, your body's just been on a strict diet to get yourself on weight, and then all of a sudden you're just stuffing your face with food. He said your body goes into almost like shock because it's not used to having that amount of food, considering and you're going to perform the next day. He says, it's a huge factor that fighters don't take into account, that they need to take the time rehydrating, take their time getting the food back in, and it plays a big part in their performance as well.
Right. Yes, that plays a huge part in the performance. And, I never had anybody really teach me how to diet and how to, recover for, what to eat the day of the fight. I've seen a lot of guys were in great shape, close friends of mine, teammates and stuff, and they just eat pasta all day, and then got into the fight and just died as soon as the fight started because they overloaded on carbs.
Yeah.
It's a certain science that you have to have down to making weight and then putting it back on correctly.
Yeah, it is.
That's very, very important for your performance the night of the fight.
And obviously, you said, like you say, you go back, you analyze it. Do you feel that you've had a good amount of amateur fights and professional fights now? Do you feel that you're starting to get to the point where it's flowing a lot clearly now? You know when you're gonna eat. You know roughly what you're gonna eat. Have you got a much clearer picture of how your training camps go now?
Yes, I changed a lot of things this camp. Brought in an extra coach. And worked a lot more with my two primary coaches. And man, this training camp has been amazing. There's a lot of things, man, that just opened up to me in this camp, and definitely learned from last camp and last fight. So this should go a little bit differently from now on, from here on out. But we'll see how this all works out on next Saturday night when I get in the ring.
Well, that's the thing. It's one of those ones where you'll go back after this fight and you might even say to yourself, do you know what, we could have done this, and you'll probably always tweak it slightly. You'll always start to maybe look at it differently. But the thing is, as long as you're getting it as close to a perfect camp as you can get it, that's what you ideally want.
Right. Yeah, that's what you want. No injuries or anything like that, man, and try to go into the fight night, fresh. That's what you want. With a clear mind and, just tuned in and ready to go.
And look, I'm sure then the way you feel, the way you're talking, it sounds like you know how to get yourself prepped. It sounds like you're confident with the way you got the coaching structured for this camp. It sounds like you're going to have an excellent performance against Jason. And, I'm sure Jason's going to bring his best and his A game as well, which will bring, a great fight for the fans. That's the key thing, it's prize fighting at the end of the day, and it's all about performances, right. And the people love to see an exciting bout. Two guys that will either have a great grappling exchange or a great stand-up fight. It's all, if we are lucky, we get both. That's what we're all hoping to see, really, coming on the 27th.
Right. Where are you from?
In UK, my friend.
UK. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, all the way in the UK, across the pond, my friend.
Yeah, that's great, man. They're fun people, man. Fun people.
Oh yeah, I say we're fun. Yeah, we're not too bad. yeah. Up on the Isle of Man in the UK is where I'm based.
Right.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, my friend. We have the TT races. That's the motorbike road race, and that's how, if you want to research where we are, type that into Google, and you'll probably, your jaw will hit the ground when you see what they do. It's awesome stuff, though. Right. That's where we are. But look, even in the UK, we're spreading out. The Valor Fights and you name it. And look, and that's why we get you on, because we want to let people learn about new fighters that they might not get the opportunity to know of, because there's so many promotions out there. It's hard to keep up with them. So we try to get a bit of every flavour from all around the world. So look, 27th of February, Jason is going to face off with yourself, and it's going to be a hell of a fight. I'm sure it is. Now, what I want to check though before, have you got any social media, buddy, that people can jump onto and give you a follow?
Yes, Facebook.com, Doug or Douglas Usher, and Twitter. My Twitter tag is at Yamato. That's YAMATO _Usher. USHER.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, get on, give him a follow. And what about have you got any sponsors there that help you out?
None this fight. No sponsors this fight. I want to thank my coaches, for a good camp, a hard camp. Rodrigo Archulario, Manu Ento, Tim Stout, and Gable Kitover.
Awesome stuff. And look, like I said before, have a great fight. Enjoy yourself, and enjoy the last little bits of your fight camp. And look, I want to wish you a great, fantastic 2016.
Okay, thank you very much.